For 15 years, I believed I had the perfect life. My wife, Laura, was everything I could have asked for: beautiful, intelligent, loving, and the envy of our friends. We had 2 wonderful kids, a lovely home in the suburbs, and careers that fulfilled us. I worked in finance, while she ran a successful online interior design business from home. We traveled, laughed, and made what I thought were lasting memories together. But everything changed one Tuesday afternoon. I was working late, reviewing client reports at home, when my phone buzzed with notification from our shared iCloud account. I hadn't realized that her devices were still linked to mine. It was a photo, a selfie of Laura lying on a hotel bed, wearing lingerie I didn't recognize, a wide smile on her face. Behind her, a man's hand rested on her thigh. My stomach sank. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I became a silent observer, playing the role of the perfect husband while quietly unraveling the truth. She always claimed she was going to design consultations in the city, but when I cross-referenced her calendar with her Uber receipts, things didn't add up. Then came the email. I found it while borrowing her laptop for a Zoom call. A draft, never sent but unmistakably there. Asterisk, I wish I had met you before I married him. You're the only man who's ever made me feel truly alive. Asterisk. I printed everything, every message, every receipt, every photo, and created a file I called The Truth. But instead of confronting her right away, I stayed calm. I played the part of the attentive husband, cooking dinners, suggesting weekend getaways, even suggesting couples therapy for stress. All the while, I was preparing my move. What Laura didn't know was that everything we owned was in my name: the house, the cars, even the business, which I had funded and registered under my LLC. Every dime spent came from my income. And just before our 16th anniversary, I executed my plan. One Friday evening, Laura came home to an empty house. My clothes were gone. The kids were staying at my sister's place, and on the kitchen counter was a single envelope. Inside were divorce papers, a full copy of The Truth, and a note: asterisk, I gave you everything. You gave yourself to someone else. Now I'm taking it back. Asterisk. Within a week, her account were frozen, and her business was shut down. I had the evidence, and she had nothing. The man she had been cheating with was married, too. I sent his wife a copy of everything. Last I heard, he lost custody of his kids and half of his assets. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine was calculated, legal, and devastating. And damn, it tasted sweet. The silence in the house after I left was deafening. Or so I imagined. I didn't wait around to see her reaction. I had no interest in the tears, the excuses, or the desperate scramble to make it all disappear. I spent the first night in my sister's guest room. The kids were asleep, blissfully unaware of the storm that had just hit. I wasn't ready to break their hearts just yet, not until I had a plan for them. That night, I stared at the ceiling, trying to piece together how long she'd been lying to me. How many times had she smiled at me right after being with him? How many memories had I built with her that were nothing but a lie? The storm hit the next morning. 22 missed calls, 9 voicemails, all from Laura. The first few were frantic. Asterisk, where are you? What's going on? Asterisk, then her tone shifted. Asterisk, what is this? What did you do to our accounts? Asterisk, by the 5th voicemail. She was crying. Asterisk, please, Mark, let's talk about this. I can explain. It wasn't what you think. Asterisk, but it was exactly what I thought. I didn't respond. Instead, I met with my lawyer to discuss full custody. I told him she can have supervised visitation if she wants, but she doesn't get to lie to me and still keep the kids like everything's fine. He nodded. With the evidence you've got, that won't be a problem. And he was right. A week later, I heard Laura had gone to Guy's house. His wife had kicked him out the day after I dropped the truth bomb. Turns out, cheaters don't make the best team once their secrets are exposed. He didn't want Laura anymore. She was just his escape, not his future. And just like that, she was left standing on the sidewalk with a suitcase, humiliated, rejected, and alone. Then the angry text started. You ruined my life, she wrote. You lied to me for years. I simply replied, I just handed you the mirror. She tried to be clever, threatening to go after me for alimony. I laughed. She had never read the fine print. I owned 85% of the business she bragged about building. She had signed it over to my LLC in the first year, thinking it was for tax purposes. Her lawyer was floored when they found out. Her case crumbled before it even started. Months passed. The divorce was finalized, and the court granted me full custody with visitation every other weekend. Laura continued to play the victim during mediation, claiming emotional manipulation, but the judge didn't buy it. I moved into a smaller, quieter place, one that was mine, with no shared memories. The kids adjusted slowly. They asked questions, and I answered them truthfully, but always age-appropriate. I never badmouthed their mother. I didn't need to. Time would take care of that. Every now and then, Laura would send long, emotional texts about her regret, about how she had lost herself, about how she'd sabotaged everything. Maybe it was true. Maybe she did lose herself. But I wasn't interested in finding her anymore. A year later, I met someone new. No games, no secrets, just honesty. We moved slowly, cautiously. But this time it felt right. My kids were happy, and they were learning that even when people break your heart, you can heal, you can rebuild. As for Laura, last I heard, she was living in a small one-bedroom apartment on the other side of town, trying to rebuild her freelance design business from scratch. Her reputation? Toxic. Word travels fast in our circles. And when people found out what she did, it wasn't long before she was blacklisted. She thought she could cheat without consequences. But she was wrong.